So goddamn, look what happened with the Salman Rushdie. Old Salman Rushdie, he got stabbed. They said more than, 15 times? 15 to 20 times? He got one in the neck, one in the stomach, and one in the eyeball. Apparently he's not going to be able to see anymore. He's not going to be able to speak. He's not going to be able to see anymore. But because we're hearing that, I mean, he's totally fucked, right? But he may live. He may live. So there you go, Will Smith. Thanks a bunch, Will Smith. Jesus Christ. You know, I know it was just one actor slapping a comedian, but was that symbolic of the fall of the American Republic? Look at what you did, you little jerk. Look at what you did, you little jerk. Salman Rushdie. Frankly, if this is inspired by Islam, if you want Salman Rushdie to just, fall by the wayside. There are so many dime novels out there. People just write shit all the fucking time. The best way to make somebody notorious, start burning their books, start publicly demonstrating against them. Salman Rushdie got a fatwa in 1988, 1989 for the book called Satanic Verses. And the book, Satanic Verses, it's all made up. It's all total fiction. It's all total bullshit. It's like getting pissed off at, some Disney movie. Oh, Bambi, you damn, that's the name of my mother, and I'm offended, Bambi, that's Snow White, watching Snow White, and just go out and start passing poisonous apples around. Come on now. It's a book. Who the hell reads books anyways? And literature? Who gives a shit? Literature's a bunch of fucking bullshit. Every person I know that talks about literature's a bunch of, except for Spar and Brawl, they're a bunch of fucking curmudgeon old assholes. Fucking literature. Had me read 1984, Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, and Billy Budd. Okay, I read it. A lot of interesting ideas. Can I talk to somebody about all these ideas? No. Fucking read all that shit for nothing just to write a fucking piece of paper that... Jesus Christ. Frankly, good literature. The only literature that's good literature is a screenplay that's about to become a movie. A screenplay that's about to be turned into a movie. If you can't turn it into a goddamn movie, oh yeah, Dostoevsky, he's a great motherfucking writer. Yeah, how come we don't have Crime and Punishment movie? And they're not, we do, then they suck. Then they're terrible. They didn't even... Oh, the brothers Karamazov. Oh, the bewitched and the bedeviled. Fucking Dostoevsky. Fuck Dostoevsky. Get goddamn Crime and Punishment. He made up a bunch of shit too, and he wrote about a person that I loved, a hero that I worshipped, and he wrote about him in a way that I didn't like. He wrote about it in a way I didn't like. Salman Rushdie would have just fallen by the wayside. Nobody protested. Nobody said shit. But instead he's going to get a fatwa from the Iranian Ayatollah Khomeini, the fucking chief of the goddamn spiritual realm. And then the fatwa stays in issue. It's a death order. It's a contract death order, right? Just saying, hey, somebody go shoot that guy. Somebody go stab that guy 15 to 20 times in the eye and the throat. Somebody go do that 40 goddamn years later. It's magical realism. It's fucking the plot. The plot of Satanic Verses is this. You have an Indian expatriate in Bollywood, two Indian immigrants. You got two immigrants from India going to London in an airplane, and the airplane gets blown up, I think, by a Muslim, and then the two passengers, Indian expatriates, as they're falling down, one becomes an angel and the other one becomes the devil. One becomes goodness personified, the God of goodness personified. The other one becomes the God of evil personified. None of this is all horseshit. This is all fucking made up. It's a novel, okay? Who gives a shit? How many dime novels do you see just thrown in a bin and nobody pays attention to them? God damn. So, I've watched and listened to a whole bunch of this stuff, and frankly, you made a huge deal about Salman Rushdie when you didn't have to make a big deal about him. You know the best way that Salman Rushdie would have been silenced? Don't say shit about him. Nobody would have said anything and nobody would have gave a damn, but instead, you had Iran ban the book, and then fucking South Africa, and then a whole bunch of countries started banning the damn book. He's a very boring guy. He's a very forgettable person. Instead, you just turned a very boring, forgettable person into an immortal legend, an immortal god. He's going to be bigger than Muhammad now. And Muhammad, what a fucking pervert. What a fucking, what a terrible prophet. Goddamn. You don't hate the sin. You don't hate the sinner. You hate the sin. So fuck all your religion, motherfuckers. Fuck all y'all's religions, you dumb motherfucker. Y'all can be dumb if you want, but fuck your stupidity. Oh, you believe there's an invisible man up in the clouds, huh? And what else did he tell you? Okay, stay away from me and my family. Just stay away from us, okay? Nah, what, you believe in invisible people? They talk to you right now? Right now, you talk to them, they talk to you? Oh, okay, so just stay the fuck away. Stay the fuck away. So, yeah, 2 Indian expatriates. One's the Gabriel angel. The other one's the devil, Satan. Beelzebub himself. The airplane is attacked. Blows up. Bollywood star. They're falling down to their deaths. And there's 2 goddamn motherfucking controversial parts, right? It's all a bunch of horse shit. And then guess what? After Bambi ran away from the hunter and the hunter had killed his mother and Bambi ran away into the thicket, guess what? A big old forest fire happens and then Bambi's father says, "Follow me, Bambi," and then helps Bambi through the woods. And that totally offends my religion. Fuck you. There's nothing anybody can write in a book that fucking pisses me the fuck. And no matter what doodle, no matter what the fuck you wrote down about. Hey, I went over there and I wrote 100 pages about how, I think you're an ugly son of a bitch. It's not nice. It's a lot of hatred you have for me. But, that doesn't hurt me. I'm glad you expressed it. What'd you come up with? What was your conclusions? I'm glad you tried to figure it out that way instead of, So, it's a fictional book. So, this is so goddamn anti-free speech. We're not just, I don't just believe in free speech. I believe in, the right to alcohol and the right to goddamn initiative and the right to referendum, the right to peacefully assemble and the right to petition and the right to keep soldiers out of your homes and the right to bear arms and the right to have every single natural right that's out there that wasn't specifically enumerated. I got a lot of motherfucking rights and freedoms, not just free speech. You're getting free speech all fucked up and wrong. You're getting free speech all fucked up and wrong. Dissent is good. Free speech? Jesus Christ. In the brothel. So the 2 parts is, apparently there's a brothel and there's 12 prostitutes, and the 12 prostitutes have the same names as the 12 wives of Muhammad. 12 wives of Muhammad. So he's saying they're prostitutes. What's he trying to say? Muhammad had 12 wives, right? Okay. And they were all prostitutes. No, he didn't say the wives were prostitutes. He just had prostitutes in a brothel that had the same name as Muhammad's wives. So I'm sure there's a compare and contrast thing that's going on there. But that's so far removed. How in the hell? And then you have a dream sequence. Apparently, Salman Rushdie had imagined that Muhammad, most of the time it's God talking to him and he's, talking about the Quran and God's talking to Muhammad, Muhammad's spitting out God's thoughts, but there were some of these satanic verses. The devil got in somehow. The devil, Satan, Beelzebub got in himself, and instead of just listening to God, he actually listened to the devil. But it was just this one little portion. Not most of it, 99% of it's good, but this 1 fucking percent. The devil got into Muhammad and he said a bunch of devil shit. He said, turn away from the new religion, go back to the old religion. But that was just the devil. That was just the devil. It's based on some of the old, fucking scriptures and shit. But again, it's historical realism. It's magical realism. It's Salman Rushdie just saying, okay, and then Muhammad and Jesus held hands and went skipping through the meadow and the lilacs and the... So he's just imagining these historical figures. Old Abraham Lincoln, good old Abraham Lincoln and Moses were sitting there arm wrestling, and then guess who showed up? Guess who showed up? That's right, Napoleon, that short motherfucker. What the hell you want, Napoleon? We're trying to do arm wrestle match. What the hell? Oh, you want the loser? Because you're right. Okay, so Israel means wrestles with God, but Islam means submission. And so it says that you're submitting if you obey Muhammad. You're submitting to Muhammad. And, there's 2 audiences here. He's trying to talk to London, and he's saying, fuck your racism. At the same time, he's also saying, fuck your stupid religious bullshit. Basically, yeah, you got a right to religion until your crazy bullshit starts hurting me, and then, fuck you piece of shit. Fuck you and your stupid ass fucking religion. Just obey the laws, you know? So, thanks a lot, Will Smith. God damn, can't speak no more. He's been stabbed 15 to 20 times. I'm not impressed by Satanic verses. Satanic verses ain't no Aquaman. It's not up to Aquaman standards. It's like A Wrinkle in Time, The Secret of Nim. A Wrinkle in Time, The Secret of Nim. There's a Goebbels book. William Justice Goebel, the only governor in America to be assassinated. Kentucky. What's up? So, Snow White and Bambi, right? Novels. Who the hell reads? Nobody fucking reads. So, let's read a couple of verses here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Satanic verses. When Mr. Saladin Chamcha fell out of the clouds, Saladin Chamcha, okay, fell out of the clouds over the English Channel, he felt his heart being gripped by a force so implacable that he understood it was impossible for him to die. Afterwards, when his feet were once more firmly planted on the ground, he would begin to doubt this, to ascribe the implausibilities of his transit to the scrambling of his perceptions by the blast, and to attribute his survival, his and Gabriel's, to blind, dumb luck. But at the time, he had no doubt. What had taken him over was the will to live, unadulterated, irresistible, pure. And the first thing it did was to inform him that it wanted nothing to do with his pathetic personality, that half-reconstructed affair of mimicry and voices. It intended to bypass all of that, and he found himself surrendering to it. Yes, go on as if he were a bystander, in his own mind, in his own body, because it began in the very center of his body and spread outwards, turning his blood to iron, changing his flesh to steel. Except that it also felt like a fist that enveloped him from outside, holding him in a way that was both unbearably tight and entirely gentle, until finally it had conquered him totally and could work his mouth, his fingers, whatever it chose. And once it was sure of its dominion, it spread outward from his body and grabbed Gabriel Farishta by the balls. By the balls. By the balls. So, how much farther does this go on? Gabriel, the tuneless soloist, had been cavorting in moonlight as he sang his impromptu ghazal, swimming in air, butterfly stroke, breaststroke, bunching himself into a ball, spread eagling himself against the almost infinity of the almost dawn, adopting heraldic postures, rampant, couchant, pitting levity against gravity. Now he rolled happily toward the sardonic voice. Oh, he, Salad Baba, it's you too good. What ho, old chumpch. At which the other, a fastidious shadow, fallen head first in a gray suit with all the jacket buttons done up, arms by his side, taken for granted the improbability of the bowler hat on his head, pulled a nickname hater's face. Hey, Spoono. A nickname hater's face. Hey, Spoono, Gabriel yelled, eliciting a second inverted wince. Proper London. Baha! Here we come. Those bastards down there won't know what hit them. Meteor or lightning or vengeance of God out of thin air, baby. Dram, wham, no, what an entrance. Yar, I swear, splat out of thin air. A big bang followed by fallen stars. A universal beginning, a miniature echo of the birth of time. The jumbo jet Boston flight AI 420 blew apart without any warning. High above the great, rotting, beautiful, snow-white illuminated city, Mahogany, Babylon, Alphaville, but Gabriel had already named it. I mustn't interfere. Proper London, capital of Villa, yet winked, blinked, nodded in the night, while at Himalayan height a brief and premature sun burst into the powdery January air. A blip vanished from radar screens, and the thin air was full of bodies descending from the Everest of the catastrophe to the milky paleness of the sea. Of the sea. Okay, so who is this Salman Rushdie? All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Salman Rushdie, basically a very forgettable person, a very forgettable face, is going to be a legend now because of this fatwa and Ayatollah Khomeini. How dare you? You've insulted me. And I want to say make sure it's, see, fatwa, Salman Rushdie. All right. He's an Indian-born British-American novelist. He combines magical realism. Let's see, this Satanic versus controversy. Do I want to read Wikipedia? Kind of mad at Wikipedia. The stabbing of Salman Rushdie, so Wikipedia's on that. That's pretty. Cat Stevens' comments about Salman Rushdie. February 14th, 1989, death fatwa against Arthur Salman Rushdie, Ayatollah Khomeini. Yep, Ayatollah Khomeini. And apparently he died without rescinding it, which means it's still in effect. So that guy who stabbed him, he might motherfucking get, $6 million or some shit? Did they find out why? Salman Rushdie stabbed on New York stage moments before scheduled speech. And the speech was about people going to community college in upstate New York or some shit. What the hell did that goddamn asshole have to do with, why is he pissed off about people going to community college? He's like, I hate community college. It's a goddamn degradation of the West and their fucking free college and their free healthcare. Free everything. Free nothing, motherfucker. What are you talking about? Free Willie. The author whose writing led to death threats following a fatwa from the Iranian Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini was attacked by an assailant just before he was due to start speaking. It's near the Canadian border, but it's saying it was in America. That happened in America. Associated Press reporter witnessed a man storm the stage, begin attacking Sir Salman Rushdie as he's being introduced. He fell to the floor. The man restrained by... Thanks a lot, Will Smith. The Midnight's children writer was later taken by air ambulance to a nearby hospital. The suspected attacker was arrested. La-di-da-di-da. Don't know. I don't know why he did it. Maybe we'll find out. You think it's probably the fatwa, right? Why the hell would anybody, Is it the community college thing? That'd be crazy. He's been looking over his shoulder about community colleges. Let's read a list of banned books. The best way to know what books you should read are when people say, don't you dare read that book. Oh, shit. So I better get me a copy of A Separate Peace, Naked Lunch, Bride's Head Revisited, Kurt Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle, Sons and Lovers, D.H. Lawrence, Sophie's Choice, William Styron, Satanic Verses, Salman Rushdie. Let's read about all in cold blood, Truman Capote. Satanic Verses is banned in Pakistan, and banned in Saudi Arabia, banned in Egypt, banned in Somalia, banned in Sudan, banned in Bangladesh. Goddamn. That ink on that paper must have been Malaysia. They banned it. Qatar, banned it. Indonesia, banned. South Africa, India. It criticized Muhammad, you son of a bitch. Banned. Burned in West Yorkshire, England, 1989. Temporarily withdrawn from 2 bookstores on the advice of police who took threats to staff and property seriously. Pakistan, 5 people died in riots against the book. Another man died a day later in Kashmir. Ayatollah Khomeini issued a fatwa, a religious edict stating, I inform the proud Muslim people of the world that the author of the Satanic Verses, which is against Islam, the Prophet, and the Quran, and all those involved in its publication who are aware of its content would have been sentenced to death. You had Chris Hitchens that said the Ayatollah Khomeini was on his way out. Nobody gave a shit what the fuck he was saying or what the fuck he was talking about, or his opinions about anything. Now you've given him a goddamn gift. You've given him a mother challenge at the Wichita, Kansas Public Library, 1989. The book is blasphemous to the Prophet. Venezuela, owing or reading, it was declared a crime under the penalty of 15 months imprisonment. Japan, the sale of the English language edition was banned under the threat of fines. The governments of Bulgaria and Poland also restricted its distribution. In 1991, in separate incidents, Hitachi Igarashi, the Japanese translator, was stabbed to death. And its Italian translator, Ettore Capriolo, was seriously wounded. 1993, William Nygaard, its Norwegian publisher, was shot and seriously injured. Fucking shit. So motherfucking Fatwa is no. Again, some asshole. It's like those cartoons, Dutch cartoons, where somebody drew some fucking cartoons of Muhammad. You're not supposed to depict his image or some shit. People freak the fuck out. Now we know about the damn cartoons. You want to keep them fucking quiet and silenced and nobody pay attention to them? Don't say shit. It would have just fallen into the dustbins of history. Everybody would have forgot. But if you want to make, God, that's probably the best thing for a book is to get it banned. A Clockwork Orange, Lady Chatterley's Lover, The Awakening. You have libraries always have these banned book lists. The Jungle, The Lord of the Rings, All the King's Men, Go Tell It on the Mountain by James Baldwin, The Call of the Wild, Jack London, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Slaughterhouse-Five, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Native Son, Gone with the Wind, Song of Solomon, Invisible Man, Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston, A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway, As I Lay Dying, The Sun Also Rises, Animal Farm, Brave New World, Catch-22. Of Mice and Men, Lolita, 1984, The Lord of the Flies, Beloved, Ulysses, The Color Purple, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Grapes of Wrath, Catcher in the Rye, The Great Gatsby. So basically, literature is, pointless. But when somebody says, "Oh my God," what? You had, what fucking Theodore... What was it? The Dr. Seuss? What's his name? They banned his book in China. Dr. Seuss. They banned his book in China. Why? Because green eggs and ham? No Chinese person's going to eat any green eggs and ham. Not on my watch. Not on the Prime Minister's watch. No sirree, Bob. So it makes you think, why would they ban green eggs and ham in China? What the hell is that about? Because they didn't want anybody to question the national narrative. Try something else out, you might like it. If you try some green eggs and ham, put a little bit of cheese and syrup on it, you might like green eggs and ham. So is this blasphemy? Is this heresy? All this was much ado about nothing until the fatwa and all this extra fucking dumb shit. Now this should be turned into a movie. Now Satanic verses should be required reading for every single American as soon as you can read a book. When I think about, even your most best, stories for children, Snow White, Bambi, I think of Disney movies, right? Even those stories, Snow White and Bambi, they have death and there's some dark themes. But it's, they brush it over with a large brush so it's clear, right? Who the evil, they're passing out poisonous apples, that ugly ass witch, and then she's going to get pushed up, so they're going to kill her. Bambi's mother gets fucking killed, right? Those are some dark themes. But that's, God, if we can't even talk about Snow White and Bambi, I'm not sure what we're able to talk about. I know I'll talk about that with my kids and my family, but when it comes to free speech, it's how we think. It's how we understand the world. And it's so American. Again, it's not just, I got 88 freedoms. So it's not just free speech, right? Right to petition, right to peacefully assemble, right to, when people are sitting there saying, what should I do today? Okay, dude pissed me off. Well, you have a lot of freedoms. You have a lot of free, a lot of things that you can do. You could petition him. Hey, I went ahead and got everybody's signature in the neighborhood and they all think you're an asshole. I think you're an asshole. They all think you're an asshole, and we just wanted you to know it. Here's a petition. We could, protest in front of the house, have placards, have some sort of bullhorn. There's an asshole that lives right here. So I don't know, if anything, that was actually pretty decent writing. Maybe they saw that the writing, they thought it was going to be huge. They thought that everybody's going to follow Salman Rushdie. I think that, frankly, that they're kind of, why are you freaking out so fucking much? That seems so crazy. It's almost like, it's too much. It's too much. What? You question Muhammad's words. All his words were inspired by God. None of them were inspired by the devil. You shut your mouth. Apostasy. Fucking Islam just it's not Christianity, but Christianity's got its problems too. A lot of motherfuckers got there. So what am I trying to say here? He said there's 12 prostitutes that have the same, names as the 12 wives of Muhammad. He had a dream sequence where Muhammad was inspired by the devil instead of by God. So therefore, he's not a prophet, right? It takes everything away from him. What if that one time Muhammad actually spoke the devil's voice instead of God's? So, what am I trying to say here? I'm saying I'm on the side of free speech. I don't like that Salman Rushdie. Take a look at his picture. Listen to him talk. He's a very boring, very uninteresting guy. And now you've just made him, legendary, which maybe his book is a lot better than what I thought it was. Because I never wanted to read his book on my own. Now I do. Now I'm reading it out loud just because I believe in free speech so much. He said it was an attack on the Islamic faith. He said it was an attack on, Islam. It was just basically a stupid story. And then actually I heard an interview where he had talked about how in all religions, in all groups, when you learn how, when you're strong, you got to act a certain way. When you're weak, you got to act a certain way. And he says that all these rules in society teach the strong how to act with humility, right? And the weak how to act also with humility. And so that's kind of, remarkable when you put it in that term. If Islam is a, forgiving religion, it's about peace and all this other shit. So Salman Rushdie wrote a fucking book that you didn't like. Get the fuck over it. Who gives a shit? A lot of people write dumb books and have a lot of dumb ideas. Why'd you let Salman Rushdie get up in your craw? Why'd you let Salman Rushdie fucking piss you off? Why is that the thorn that's, in your cuticle? In your, thumbnail? Why is that why is that the goddamn splinter in your craw? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Anything else here? Let's see here. I typed some things. Let's see. The Quran says not to kill yourself. Salman Rushdie wrote a controversial novel. Is he going to get $6 million? Ayatollah Khomeini put a fatwa, never rescinded it. Satanic verses they had. Satan was in Job. Satan's all over Job. 2 Indian expats flying to London. Snow White, can you believe? Questioning Muhammad for a second. Don't you dare question Muhammad for a second. Did Muhammad even exist? I question whether Jesus existed. Was Muhammad even a real motherfucking person? He was back in the 600s? So it could be he could be fucking Snow White. He could be a total fictional made up character. And then I wonder if maybe Christianity, Islam had to compete with Christianity, and Christians were crazy about a fucking guy that, apparently lived forever and said some shit. And so they were like, well, we got to find some guy that said some crazy shit, and we got to start a religion too. What if Jesus isn't God, but what if Jesus is the devil? Just the thought freaked Muslims out that much. Goddamn, your religion ain't, you're building a house on sand. If just somebody questioning, maybe Muhammad wasn't even real. What did he say? So the Salman Rushdie, if nobody protested or said anything, he would have wrote a crap novel. And then it would have been forgotten. Nobody would have gave a damn, and, maybe 10 motherfuckers. He hate the sin, not the sinner. Fuck the religion, not the religioner. I'm all about free speech. We got a right to alcohol, right to peacefully assemble, to bitch about Becky. We got 88 more freedoms on top of that. Constitutional freedoms, plus there's natural freedoms. Referendum initiative, right to recall, freedom from war. And again, who gives a fuck about literature? Nobody does. If the Satanic verses was going to be turned into a goddamn movie, it would have been made into a movie already. So, either put your goddamn book, make it into a miniseries, turn it into a movie, or shut the fuck up about it. That's your 3 options. You got 3 options, and that's it.